Today, we bring you an update no one saw coming. Josh Duggar, husband to Anna Duggar from 19 Kids and Counting, has suffered a major heart attack. His condition is critical, and he is currently hospitalized. The Duggar family, beloved and controversial in equal measure, now faces one of their greatest fears. Join us as we piece together the events leading up to this devastating moment and explore the hope, heartbreak, and faith that surround them. Josh and Anna Duggar have been married for over a decade. Together, they've built a beautiful family, welcoming 7 children into the world. Fans of 19 Kids and Counting have watched them navigate parenthood, challenges, and controversies. But nothing could prepare them for news that shook the family and the world: Josh's sudden heart attack. To understand the gravity of Josh Duggar's current battle, we need to look back at who he is and why he remains a figure of fascination. Born Joshua James Duggar in 1988, the youngest son of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, Josh grew up in a household famous for its size, 19 Kids and Counting. His life was documented on television, and viewers saw him as a devout, dedicated son, brother, and later, husband and father. Josh Duggar was known for his outspoken Christian beliefs, his involvement in family-run businesses, and his brief tenure as a political figure. Many admired his dedication to faith and family values. But behind the polished image, Josh wrestled with personal controversies, admissions of past misconduct, public apologies, and a career that shifted from public office to private life. Anna Duggar, née Keller, captured hearts with her gentle demeanor and commitment to homeschooling their children. Married in 2008, Josh and Anna's love story became a central part of the show. Over the years, they welcomed Mackenzie, Michael, Marcus, Meredith, Mason, Mariella, and twin toddlers Meredith and Mason. Their home buzzed with the laughter of children, the warmth of shared faith, and the obligations of raising a large family. Together, they navigated the complexities of fame, criticism, and personal growth. As Josh supported Anna through pregnancy after pregnancy, fans saw a husband who cherished his wife. But life has a way of changing without warning. The morning of May 28th started like any other for the Duggar household. The children woke early, chores were assigned, and the aroma of breakfast filled the air. But just after 7 a.m., Josh began to feel an intense pressure in his chest. A crushing sensation he'd never experienced before. Initially, he dismissed it as indigestion, something that could wait until after breakfast. But when the pain intensified, radiating down his left arm, he knew something was seriously wrong. Anna, already in the kitchen preparing pancakes for the kids, heard Josh's panicked groan and rushed to help. She found him collapsed near the counter, sweating and pale. Their eldest, Mackenzie, was nearby, and the sight of her father on the floor sent her into tears. Anna's maternal instinct kicked in. She dialed 911, her voice trembling as she relayed their address and described the symptoms. Unit 47, cardiac distress, Duggar residence, possible heart attack. ETA 2 minutes. In just under 10 minutes, paramedics arrived at the Duggar home. They quickly assessed Josh's vital signs: elevated heart rate, low blood pressure, and irregular ECG readings indicating a massive myocardial infarction, commonly known as a heart attack. They administered oxygen, aspirin, and pain medication, preparing him for immediate transport to the nearest cardiac care unit. Dr. Smith. Upon arrival, Mr. Duggar was experiencing ST elevation myocardial infarction, STEMI, one of the most severe forms of heart attack. His coronary arteries were likely blocked by a clot. Time is muscle. Every minute counts. We prepped him for emergency angioplasty. For Anna, the world paused. Watching her husband rushed into the emergency room, she felt fear, confusion, and a surge of hope that the doctors could save him. She clutched her youngest twins, Mariella and Mason, whispering prayers as she was led to a waiting area, surrounded by concerned medical staff and family members. Millions of people worldwide suffer from heart attacks each year, but what exactly happens in those critical moments? A heart attack occurs when blood flow to a part of the heart is blocked, usually by a blood clot. Without oxygen-rich blood, the heart muscle begins to die. In Josh's case, doctors suspect a clot formed in one of his coronary arteries, cutting off vital oxygen. Risk factors for heart attacks include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, obesity, diabetes, and a family history of heart disease. Stress and lack of exercise can also contribute. In Josh's history, there were whispers of stress from public scrutiny, financial strain, and personal battles. While no one can say for certain what triggered his heart attack, the combination of hereditary and lifestyle factors likely played a role. Dr. Ramirez says, "A heart attack is a medical emergency. The sooner a patient receives treatment, particularly angioplasty or clot-busting medications, the better the outcomes. Patients may experience chest pain, shortness of breath, nausea, or sudden fatigue. Once in the hospital, we administer clot dissolvers, perform angiograms to locate blockages, and open arteries using stents during angioplasty. In critical cases like Josh's, where a significant portion of heart muscle is at risk, immediate intervention is key. Delays of even minutes can influence recovery and long-term heart function." Anna faced a harrowing wait as doctors worked tirelessly to stabilize her husband. When Josh's ambulance doors slid open, the ER team sprang into action. They hooked him up to a heart monitor, saw alarming ECG spikes, and rushed him for an emergency angioplasty. The procedure involved threading a catheter through his femoral artery up into his heart to identify the blockage. In the cath lab, Dr. Patel and his team located a near-complete occlusion in Josh's left anterior descending artery, often referred to as the widowmaker, due to its potential lethality. With precision, Dr. Patel inserted a tiny balloon, inflating it to compress the clot against the artery wall. Once blood flow returned, he placed a stent, a small mesh tube, to keep the artery open. It was a race against time, but the procedure was a success. Josh's heart regained some blood flow, and his vital signs stabilized. Dr. Patel says, "We managed to restore partial blood flow. His ejection fraction, how well his heart pumps, was severely reduced, around 30%. A healthy heart typically ranges from 55 to 70%. We feared he might go into cardiogenic shock, but with medication and monitoring, we bought him precious time." Anna, accompanied by her mother-in-law Michelle, prayed for Josh's survival. Family, friends, and fellow reality stars kept vigil, sending messages of support. Jill and Jessa, Josh's sisters, flew in from Arkansas, anxious to see their brother. The Duggar matriarch, Michelle, posted on social media, "Please pray for Josh. He's fighting for his life." Fans around the world echoed her plea, creating an online prayer chain. But despite the initial success, Josh's condition remained critical. His heart was swollen from the trauma, and he developed arrhythmias, dangerous irregular heartbeats. Nurses monitored him in the ICU, adjusting medications to stabilize his rhythm. Each beep of the monitor was a reminder of the fragility of life. In the ICU, we watch every heart rhythm change. For Josh, we had to start him on a combination of beta blockers and ACE inhibitors to help his heart recover. But his kidneys began to struggle too. We started diuretics to reduce fluid buildup. It was a delicate balance. One wrong move could send him into heart failure. The next 48 hours were a blur of medical interventions, echocardiograms, blood tests for drips, and constant monitoring. Multiple times, Josh's heart rate spiked dangerously, and doctors adjusted his sedatives to calm him. At one point, his blood pressure plummeted, and an emergency code was called. Nurses rushed to his bedside, administering epinephrine to stabilize his circulation. By June 1st, doctors faced a grim reality. Josh's heart had suffered irreversible damage. They discussed options including a left ventricular assist device, LVAD, or even a transplant. But given his age, his size, and his medical history, the transplant list could mean months of waiting. The family gripped onto hope, knowing that even temporary mechanical support could be a lifeline. Outside the hospital, family, friends, and fans gathered in prayer. For the Duggars, faith has always been their anchor. Jim, Bob, and Michelle Duggar organized prayer gatherings at their home church. Local support poured in. Neighbors brought meals, children wrote get well cards, and strangers posted support messages online. The hashtag Josh Duggar heart attack trended on social media as fans demanded updates. Anna's parents, Gary and Kathy Keller, arrived from Arkansas to care for the children. The Duggars arranged shifts to ensure someone was always at the hospital. Jill, Josh's eldest sister, shared a heartfelt video. "Our family is rallying around Josh and Anna. We appreciate your prayers and support. We trust God's plan." Jessa, in tears, posted a photo of her brother's hand, bandaged and fragile, with the caption, "Stay strong, big brother. We love you." Dr. Morgan: "When a family experiences a crisis like this, roles shift dramatically. Children may feel insecure or scared. Siblings become caretakers. The spouse suddenly bears the weight of emotional and logistical responsibilities. It's crucial for the family to maintain open communication, lean on community support, and practice self-care, even amid uncertainty." For Anna, the days blurred together. She balanced hospital visits, caring for 7 children under 10, and dealing with constant media attention. Paparazzi camped outside the hospital, desperate for a glimpse of the family. Anna posted occasional updates on her private Instagram, expressing gratitude for prayers and cautioning against rumors. As rumors swirled, some speculating alcohol abuse, others blaming stress from past controversies, Anna and the family remained resolute. "We will not let speculation distract us from Josh's recovery." Their faith community organized fasting circles, dedicating specific prayer times. Every hour, someone somewhere prayed for Josh's heart to heal. To better understand Josh's road ahead, we spoke with cardiology experts. Dr. Ramirez: "Given Josh's current state, a reduced ejection fraction, battling arrhythmias, and possible kidney issues, what does his prognosis look like?" Dr. Ramirez: "It's difficult to predict. The first week after a massive heart attack is critical. If his heart muscle can recover, and if he responds well to medications like beta blockers and ACE inhibitors, we could see gradual improvement. But the fact that his ejection fraction is below 30% means his heart's pumping efficiency is severely compromised. We watch for complications: cardiogenic shock, heart failure, or repeated arrhythmias. Physical rehabilitation and lifestyle changes will be essential if he." Recovery often includes months of cardiac rehabilitation, supervised exercise, dietary changes, stress management, and medication adherence. Patients also need regular follow-up echocardiograms to track improvement. In some cases, an implantable cardioverter defibrillator, ICD, may be necessary to prevent sudden cardiac death from arrhythmias. Dr. Ramirez says, "Depending on how Josh's heart responds in the coming days, we might consider an ICD. If his heart remains weak, mechanical support like an LVAD could be a bridge to recovery or transplant. But at his age 36, there's a possibility he can recover significant function with aggressive therapy." For Anna and their children, the thought of losing Josh is unbearable. Yet they know the journey has just begun. The doctors made it clear: even if he survives the hospital, the risk of another heart event is high. They face the reality that life will never be the same. In times of crisis, the Duggar family leans on faith. Their beliefs revolve around trusting God's plan, even when the future is uncertain. Jim Bob Duggar says, "God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. We know that He holds Josh in His hands, and we trust that His will be done." For Anna, that faith offers solace amid fear. Each morning, she gathers her children for family devotions, reading scripture and praying for their father. Their church community provides meals, childcare, and emotional support, a reminder that they are not alone. But faith does not erase fear. It coexists with doubt. Anna confided in a close friend, "I'm scared. I keep praying for a miracle. I know Josh needs to fight hard. We need him to come home for our children." After 7 agonizing days, doctors detected slight improvement. Josh's ejection fraction climbed to 35%, still low but a step in the right direction. His kidneys stabilized and he no longer required diuretics. Dr. Patel expressed cautious optimism. "He's a fighter. We're seeing the first signs of recovery, but it's a long road." The moment that lifted everyone's spirits. Josh opened his eyes and squeezed Anna's hand. It was weak but meaningful, a sign that his mind was still with them. Tears streamed down Anna's face as she whispered, "We love you, Josh. Stay strong." The medical team watched, hopeful that this small gesture marked the turning point. While Josh's condition has improved, he is not ready to go home. Doctors recommend another week in the hospital for further monitoring and rehabilitation. Once discharged, he will need round-the-clock care, medication management, and a strict low-sodium, low-fat diet. Anna faces the daunting task of becoming a full-time caregiver while managing household duties. Nurse Thompson says, transitioning from hospital to home care requires planning. Josh will need a home health aide for at least the first month. We'll set up equipment, a walker, oxygen tanks, and a heart monitor that transmits data to his cardiologist. Physical therapy sessions will start within days of discharge, focusing on gentle exercise to strengthen his heart. For the children, the transition will be challenging. They've spent nights sleeping in the hospital waiting room, whispering prayers as their father lay unconscious. Now they need to adjust to seeing him in a wheelchair, using breathing equipment, and possibly requiring help with basic tasks. Family therapists will likely offer counseling to help them cope. I keep telling them Daddy is coming home soon. We just have to be patient. I miss his laugh, his warm hugs. I want my family whole again. The Duggars have already started fundraising efforts. A GoFundMe campaign set up by extended family raised over $50,000 in just 2 days, covering medical bills, specialized equipment, and lost income. The community rallied. Friends, church members, and even fans who had never met them sent donations. But money can't guarantee recovery. Only time, medical care, and Josh's own determination will decide. The family braces for the long haul. Follow-up appointments, diet changes, and strict medication adherence. They acknowledge the possibility that Josh may never regain full health, but they hold on to hope and each other. Josh Duggar's heart attack is a stark reminder that life can change in an instant. No amount of fame, wealth, or faith can shield us from vulnerability. His story resonates because it's universal. The fear of losing a loved one, the fragility of health, and the power of community support. Through this ordeal, we see the Duggars in a new light, not as reality TV personalities, but as a family fighting for survival and unity. Their faith remains their anchor, but they also lean on medical expertise, community resources, and the simple love that connects them. As viewers, we watch from afar, sending our prayers, messages, and positive energy. If there's one lesson from Josh Duggar's story, it's this: never take a single heartbeat for granted. Check your own health, hug your loved ones tighter, and be ready to support each other when crisis strikes. In times of crisis, solidarity often transcends competition. Fellow reality stars have reached out to express their support for Josh Duggar and his family. Counting on Alum Zach and Whitney Roloff posted a video message. We're praying for Josh and Anna. You're in our hearts, friends. Jill and Jess's former co-stars from reality programming shared heartfelt tweets, offering words of encouragement. Even those outside the Duggar circle, like TV host Drew Barrymore, shared a simple prayer emoji, signaling that compassion knows no boundaries. These messages lifted Anna's spirits, reminding her that she and Josh are not alone in this battle. Local community leaders organized a candlelight vigil in Arkansas. Though many viewers joined virtual prayer circles worldwide, fans created tribute videos, compiling clips of Josh and Anna's happiest moments, set to uplifting music. One viral TikTok montage showed their children saying, "We love you, Daddy," tugging at the heartstrings of viewers. This wave of support highlights how a single family's crisis can unite an entire community, reminding us that compassion costs nothing but gives so much. While we continue to pray for Josh's recovery, it's vital to recognize that heart disease remains a leading cause of death globally. According to the American Heart Association, one person in the United States dies every 36 seconds from cardiovascular disease. The numbers are similarly alarming worldwide. Yet many risk factors are manageable: diet, exercise, stress control, and regular checkups. Experts recommend simple lifestyle changes that can dramatically lower risk. Daily physical activity, at least 30 minutes of moderate exercise, can strengthen the heart. A balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins helps control blood pressure and cholesterol. Avoiding smoking and limiting alcohol consumption are non-negotiable. Regular visits to a healthcare provider ensure early detection of hypertension and diabetes, two silent contributors to heart attacks. Stress management is equally important. Practices like meditation, prayer, or even walking in nature can reduce anxiety and lower heart rate. For families watching, this crisis serves as a wake-up call. Love your hearts by making small, lasting changes today. As we pray for Josh's recovery, consider donating to heart research. Contributions to reputable charities can support medical research and patient programs. Together, we can prevent future tragedies. Check the video description for links. Every gift makes a difference. Find links in the description below. Share this video to spread awareness. More update. Jana Duggar makes rare public appearance as husband Josh Duggar continues prison sentence. But why? Josh Duggar makes a bold confession from federal prison. What happened? And Josh Duggar makes new request in child porn case amid financial strain. I will explain everything. Jana Duggar makes rare public appearance as husband Josh Duggar continues prison sentence. But why? Despite her husband Josh Duggar's ongoing jail sentence, Jana Duggar made a rare public appearance. Photos acquired by the U.S. Sun on Friday, December 13th show Jana, 36, at a community event in Arkansas on Tuesday, December 10th. During the outing, the former TV star was spotted defying the traditions of the Duggar family by wearing jeans, a cream and tan sweater, and sneakers. The site claims that Jana went to the occasion with one of her 7 children and Josh's other 7. Mackenzie, 15, Michael, 13, Marcus, 11, Meredith, 9, Mason, 7, Mariella, 5, and Madison, 3 are the couple's children from their 2008 marriage. Jana's excursion occurs less than a month after the publication published images of 36-year-old Josh exploring the grounds of the Federal Correctional Institution Seagoville in Texas. Following Josh's 2022 prison sentence, Jana's appearance and Josh's pictures represent some of the first public appearances of the pair. The TLC show 19 Kids and Counting helped Josh and Jana become well known. Josh was arrested in April 2021 and accused of receiving and possessing child pornography. He was found guilty that December and given a 151-month, about 12.5 year, jail sentence in May 2022. The extension of Josh's prison release date by almost 2 months was reported by Us Weekly in March 2023. October 2032 is when his release is anticipated. The United States Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit denied Josh's plea to appeal his conviction in October 2023. Josh also appealed his conviction on June 24th, but the Supreme Court dismissed it. Jana leads a quiet existence while raising the couple's children on the Duggar family's Arkansas compound while Josh is still incarcerated. The two have no interest in dissolving their marriage since they don't believe in divorce, according to a source who spoke to us in June 2022. The insider went on to say, she will support her husband and continue to raise their children as best she can. Another insider exclusively told us that same month that Jana's #1 priority was the couple's kids, and that it would never alter. They always have her around. Josh's sister, Jill Duggar, acknowledged in an interview with Access Hollywood that she had no idea why Jana has decided to stay with Josh, while promoting her 2023 book Counting the Cost. I don't know what's going on, and I suppose I'm just watching it with everyone else. In the documentary series Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets, which aired in 2023, Jill, 33, acknowledged that Josh bullied her. At the time, Jill told the newspaper that she hadn't spoken to Jana recently. Although I've seen her a few times, I still want to show her respect. We wish to honor her request for some space, as I am aware of it, she said. Josh Duggar makes a bold confession from federal prison. The original post, Josh Duggar makes a bold confession from federal prison, was published on Parade. Recently, Josh Duggar, who was serving a 12-year term for receiving and possessing child sexual abuse material, CSEM, made a daring confession from federal jail. The former 19 Kids and Counting TLC star, 37, asked for a new attorney to represent him in a letter to a judge on Tuesday, May 27th. In a letter that People was able to get, Duggar stated that he did not have enough money to hire his own lawyer, and hence need one selected by the court. My current financial situation prevents me from affording legal representation, the disgraced reality star stated. The document also stated that Duggar is looking for legal assistance to help evaluate whether constitutional violations occurred in his case and to prepare a motion to vacate, set aside, or correct my conviction and sentence if appropriate. There were also errors in the admission of forensic evidence and complex constitutional and evidentiary issues, particularly relating to legal rulings and strategic decisions made during trial proceedings, according to his allegations. Images of Duggar 2 years after his incarceration surfaced in December, and he looked completely different. He was pictured working out at the Dallas yard at FCI Seagoville. In December 2021, he was found guilty and sentenced to 12 years and 7 months in prison in May 2022. Duggar is scheduled to be released in October 2032 after starting his prison term in June 2022. Josh Duggar, unable to afford lawyers for child pornography conviction appeal. Following a string of rejected appeals, Josh is pleading with an Arkansas court to assign him a new legal team. According to court documents that the U.S. Sun was able to get exclusively, Josh appoints counsel to assist in evaluating and potentially preparing a motion. Josh asserted that his case entails complex constitutional and evidentiary issues, particularly relating to legal rulings and strategic decisions made during trial proceedings, errors in the admission of forensic evidence, and potential Brady violations. These issues could be pertinent to a collateral attack, and it would be necessary for knowledgeable legal counsel to carefully examine and assess all possible grounds for relief. Since his trial in 2021, he asserted, new legal theories and strategies have emerged in public discourse that may be relevant to the defendant's case. The defendant wants to speak with legal counsel in order to thoroughly assess the possibilities of these new tactics and how they can help a motion for relief in light of these developments. Josh claims he is unable to fully look into the possible grounds for relief because he is detained and has the necessary resources and legal expertise. A motion to appeal a conviction or sentence is known as a Section 2255 motion, and the defendant requests counsel for the specific purposes of studying the evidence, assessing potential constitutional arguments, and if there are good reasons, preparing and filing one. I am unable to afford counsel due to my current financial circumstances, Josh continued. Since I am presently detained, I humbly ask for legal aid in determining whether any constitutional violations occurred that would qualify me for remedy under 28 U.S.C. Section 2255. Given the intricacy of my case and the statutory deadline's immediacy, I beg the court to give my motion some thought. Josh's attorneys did not immediately reply to a request for comment from the U.S. Sun. For years, Josh has fought to get the conviction overturned and has insisted on his innocence. The 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals rejected his plea for a new trial in August 2023. When Josh attempted to call his lawyer during a raid at his auto dealership a year and a half prior to the arrest, federal agents allegedly confiscated his phone, according to Josh's then attorney, Justin Gelfand. He addressed the agents without the presence of legal counsel. The court's decision to reject the new trial was stated in the court documents. It is true that the agents read him his Miranda rights, which typically might give someone the impression that they are in custody. Upon signing a document confirming his rights, Duggar had the agents scratch out the part that stated he was being taken into custody. He was clearly free to depart after making changes to the paperwork. Additionally, the government benefits from the second and third factors. For the duration of the interview, Duggar occupied the front passenger seat of the agent's truck. Because they did not handcuff him, the doors remained unlocked, and he entered and exited the front seat of the vehicle on his own. He was able to roam freely during the meeting, and despite the fact that the agents started contact with Duggar, he voluntarily acquiesced to it. Has anyone been downloading child pornography? He asked at the start of the session, and he continued to chat with them for around 50 minutes. Finally, it should be noted that Duggar was not arrested at the termination of the questioning. On the contrary, he concluded the interview by himself and then walked out of the dealership. Hardly a choice for someone who is being held in jail. The last words of the ruling were, "We accordingly affirm the judgment of the district court." The conviction appeal was subsequently formally dismissed by the Supreme Court in June 2024. Josh Duggar makes new request in child porn case amid financial strain. The 19 kids and counting actor, who is the oldest of Jim Bob Duggar and Michelle Duggar's 19 children, was sentenced to 12 years in jail for receiving and possessing child pornography 3 years ago. He is currently attempting to get his conviction overturned. Legal documents obtained by People show that on May 27, Duggar, who has 7 children with his wife, Jana Duggar, addressed a letter to the judge overseeing his case asking for a court-appointed lawyer. The 37-year-old said that his current financial circumstances prevent him from affording legal representation. He had previously entered a not guilty plea to his charges during his 2021 trial. Additionally, Duggar stated in the filing that he is looking for legal counsel to help him evaluate any constitutional violations that may have occurred during his trial in 2021. Duggar, who was arrested in 2021 for allegedly downloading content showing the sexual abuse of children under the age of 12, did, in fact, claim in the documents that his entitlement to a full and fair post-conviction review may have been impacted by the broad publicity surrounding his case. The documents stated that new legal ideas and tactics that may be pertinent to the defendant's case have surfaced in public discourse over time. Given these developments, the defendant wishes to seek legal advice in order to thoroughly assess the potential of these new tactics and how they might bolster a motion for relief. Prior to this most recent filing, Duggar had submitted 2 appeals of his conviction, the most recent of which had been denied by the Supreme Court in June 2024. The expiration date of his sentence is October 2032. Before his 2021 arrest, accusations surfaced in 2015 that Duggar had raped several young girls as a teenager, including his sisters Jessica Duggar Seawald and Jill Duggar Dillard, who came forward as victims. As a result, his family's TLC reality show was terminated. In a statement to People at the time, Duggar said, "I am deeply sorry and extremely sorry for the inexcusable act I committed 12 years ago as a young teenager. My personal friends and family are among the people I have harmed. After I told my parents about it, they helped me deal with the problem in a number of ways. I admitted my mistake to the authorities during our conversation, and my parents made arrangements for counseling for me and those impacted by my conduct." His sister Jessa and her husband Ben Seawald released a statement after Duggar was arrested in 2021, expressing their sadness over the federal charges against him. "We want the truth to be revealed, whatever it may be, and as Christians, we oppose any kind of abuse or pornography," the pair stated in a statement posted to their Instagram accounts. Their family is in our thoughts and prayers during this trying time. Josh Duggar launches fresh effort to have his child porn conviction vacated, citing new strategies in the public discourse. Josh Duggar, a disgraced former reality TV star, is requesting that a federal judge assign him a lawyer in order to get his accusations of possessing child pornography dropped. The 19 kids and counting star referenced new legal theories and strategies that have emerged in public discourse in filings on Tuesday in the Western District of Arkansas U.S. District Court. Following years of campaigning by their daughter, Savannah Crisley, a MAGA favorite, the Trump administration announced that reality stars Todd and Julie Crisley would be pardoned on the same day the filing was made public. On allegations of tax evasion and fraud, the two were serving a total of 19 years. Duggar last challenged his 2021 conviction in 2024, but it was unsuccessful. He is incarcerated at the Seagoville Federal Corrections Institution in Texas for more than 12 years at this time. One part of Duggar's filing stated, "The defendant requests counsel for the limited purpose of reviewing the record, evaluating possible constitutional claims, and if meritorious grounds exist, preparing and filing a motion," according to KNWA. To fully evaluate the potential of these emerging strategies and how they may support a motion for relief, Duggar stated, he wants to consult with counsel. When police in Little Rock, Arkansas, discovered that a computer linked to him was sharing content about child sexual abuse in 2020, federal investigators launched an investigation. Investigators stated that in 2019, pictures of children, including toddlers, being sexually abused were transferred into a computer at a car dealership owned by Duggar. He received a sentence of 12.5 years in prison. Lower courts have maintained his conviction, dismissing Duggar's claim that his lawyers ought to have been allowed to inquire about the previous sex offense conviction of a former dealership employee who had used the same computer. When the judge decided they could not bring up the previous conviction, Duggar's lawyers did not ask the former employee to testify. In 2015, TLC terminated 19 kids and counting due to claims that Duggar had raped a babysitter and 4 of his sisters years prior. A tip from a family friend prompted authorities to launch an investigation, but they came to the conclusion that the statute of limitations on any potential charges had passed. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.